All right, so 13, the function of f of x is graphed on a set of axes below. Really, the only thing that you have to do with this is you're going to look at and focus on the x values only. So I'm going to make a line real quick using this bright A color. And that is the line that we're going to be focusing on. So I'm just going to zoom out just a little bit so you can see the entire question. And it asks us what is the equation of the axis of symmetry for f of x? So when we're talking about axis of symmetry, we're talking about the x value. So we can automatically get rid of 3 and 4, which gives us a 50-50 chance now of actually getting the question right. So all we're going to do is go from the point of origin, which if you don't know what the point of origin is, it is 0, 0. So looking at this, we're asking ourselves, how far over to the left or how far over to the right will we be going? And in this case, we're going to the left to get us to that value where the axis of symmetry is. So we go from our point of origin over 1 to -1. So our answer, as simply as that, is 1. That's it. Don't overthink it. All right, what up, everybody? Welcome to question 14. What is the degree of the polynomial 5x minus 3x squared minus 1 plus 7x cubed? Now, you could go ahead and take this time and actually do something with all this and rearrange it if you want, but there's really no point in doing that. Really, what you're looking for when you talk about degree for this is equal to the highest exponent value, and that's the easiest way to explain it. It's the highest exponent value. In this case, our highest exponent value is attached to this 7 and is represented by this cubed root, or 3. So our answer is going to be choice 3, number 3, and that's it. What up, everybody? Welcome back to question 15. This is a simple multiplication problem between a binomial and a trinomial. So we're going to rewrite everything down here below. X minus 3 and x squared plus 3x plus 9. Now, we're going to take this first term here in the box, and we're going to multiply it to these 3 terms here. So x times x squared is going to give you an x to the third. X times a positive 3x is going to give you plus 3x squared. And x times a positive 9 is going to give you positive 9x. So now we're going to go ahead and we're going to get rid of all this and rewrite it again because I want to make it nice and beautiful for everybody. So x minus 3, x squared plus 3x plus 9. And we already did this one, so we're going to actually focus on this box here, and we're going to do the terms like this. So we're going to do -3 times x squared is going to give you -3x squared. Then we're going to go ahead and say -3 times a positive 3x is going to give you a -9x. And -3 plus a positive 9, rather, is going to give you a -27. So now we can go ahead and we can start getting rid of some things because some things are going to cancel out for us, make it a little easier. We're going to get rid of this here and this because a -3x squared and a positive 3x squared goes away. We're also going to get rid of a positive 9x and a -9x. They cancel out. And that leaves us with x cubed minus 27, which gives us our answer up here of 1. Great job, guys. All right, so first and foremost, follow along with me with this. It's going to be a little bit more daunting than normal, but up here you have the steps we're going to take to do this. So the solution to 2/3 times 3 minus 2x is equal to 3/4 is one of these 4 choices that we have. And I'm going to use different colors, and I also already have this ready to go. So if you want to download it and pause the video, download it, and then follow along with the steps, it gives you the math on how to get it and actually gives you the answer as well, so you can kind of see where we're going. So the first thing I'm going to do is rewrite our whole equation like I normally do. I'm going to be doing a lot of erasing with this to kind of keep everything kind of nice. And then we're going to go ahead and we're going to do the first step, which according to this is green, is to distribute. So I'm going to break this down here, and I'm going to do 2 times 3 over 3. 2 again times 3 over 3. And then I'm going to do this one over here, which is going to be 2 times 2x over 3. That's going to give us 6 over 3, which gives us 2. And when we combine these, 4x over 3, or it's going to be like this, 4x over 3 with the negative sign. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to erase this stuff here as we just did step 1. And I'm going to go ahead and write it as we would do it as if we just did it. So it's going to be 2 minus 4 over 3x is equal to 3/4. So now we're going to move on to the next step, which is going to be to isolate the variable x. So we're going to subtract 2 and get rid of it on this side. And we're going to go ahead and rewrite what we have left, which is negative 4 over 3x equals 3/4 minus 2. So we're just going to shift all this up. And then we'll get rid of that minus 2 as well. Perfect. So now we're going to go ahead and we're going to find what's called the greatest common denominator. And we're going to do it between the fractions 3/4 and 2 over 1. Because we can write a fraction when it's a regular number over 1 and it's a fraction. And that greatest common denominator is going to be 4. So I'm going to go ahead and put that up here and put 4 right there. And if you see it on the paper that you're following, it's in an orange box. So I'm going to go ahead and just get rid of this stuff right here, make some room for all of this next math that we're going to do. So now that we found the greatest common denominator, we're going to go ahead and multiply by 4, and then we're going to simplify the fraction. So we're going to rewrite everything again. Minus 4 over 3x is equal to, we're not going to touch this fraction because it's all right. We're just going to mess around with the fraction negative 2, or rather make a fraction. So again, negative 2 times 4 is going to give us 8, or negative 8 over 4. Then we're going to go ahead and simplify these two fractions, and that's going to give us a negative 5 over 4. I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to erase all this and rewrite in blue, because we're not on the next step yet. What we have left, which is going to be negative 4 over 3x equal to negative 5 over 4. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of all this stuff at the bottom and move on to our last step, which is going to be for us to multiply by what's called the reciprocal, or the flipped fraction. So our flipped fraction, which is attached to our x variable, is going to be 3 over 4, rather a negative 3 over 4. We're going to do that to both sides, because what we do to one side, we must do to the other when it comes to trying to isolate a variable. We're left with x is equal to, and we multiply negative 5 and negative 3, which gets us a positive 15 over 16. So our final answer is going to be choice number 4. Good job, everybody. All right, ain't nothing to this one but to just do this one. So this is question 17. If f of x is equal to 2x plus 6 and g of x is equal to absolute value of x, and they're graphed on the same coordinate plane, for which value of x is f of x equal to g of x? Now, mind you, all we really have to do is just substitute these values in. So the first thing I'm going to do, and we can eliminate some of these answers, I'm going to go ahead and put in this value first into our equation. So it's going to be f of 6 is equal to 2 times 6 plus 6. We know that 2 times 6 is 12. And we know that 12 plus 6 is 18. So now we're going to do the next one over here. We're going to do g of 6, which we already kind of know is not going to work. Absolute value of 6 is negative 6. So that does not work. So we're going to get rid of the 6, and we're going to get rid of this 6, and we're going to get rid of 4, because if it doesn't work this way, it's not going to work the other way. That leaves us with 2 and negative 2. So because 2 is our next one, we're just going to go ahead and do that. So f of 2 is equal to 2 times 2. All I'm doing is plugging in anywhere there is a value of x, I'm plugging in the value of 2. this value here. 2 times 2 is 4, plus 6, we already know is 10. You can kind of see something happening right now. The absolute value of a number is equal to the negative value or the opposite value. So if we plug in 2 to there, right, it's not going to equal 10. So that leaves us with our answer of 3. But I'm going to go ahead and actually do the math on that one so that you can see. So we got rid of 1, we got rid of 4, and we got rid of 2. Our answer is 3. But I'm going to go ahead and do the math so you can see. F of negative 2 is equal to 2 times negative 2 plus 6. And then we're going to also set up G of negative 2, which is equal to the absolute value of negative 2. 2 times negative 2 is equal to a negative 4 plus 6. And when we combine these or add them together, it gives us 2. An absolute value of a negative is going to be opposite that number, so our value is going to be 2. 2 does in fact equal 2, and therefore our answer is actually choice 3, negative 2. You did it.